What if I told you Drake didn't call for backup, but 50 Cent pulled up anyway? And the game? He's watching all of it, waiting for his moment. This ain't just a rap beef. This is power, pride, and payback, and it's all happening in front of our eyes. Let me show you how deep this goes. When 50 Cent picks a side, he ain't just talking, he's plotting. 50 didn't tweet support just to look cool. That man lives for disruption. And when he backed Drake, he wasn't protecting him. He was pressing buttons. Kendrick's attack reminded him of his own rise. So he stepped in, uninvited. Why? Because if this beef turns historic, 50 wants fingerprints on it. This ain't charity, it's chess. And 50 just moved a piece. Drake didn't ask for help, but 50 showed up anyway. That's not support. That's a message. Drake knew the moment would come. Not just bars, pressure, legacy on the line. But he didn't panic. And when 50 jumped in, Drake didn't shout, didn't post. He calculated. He's letting others bark while he sharpens his blade. Because the smartest ones, they watch who moves and who watches. Drake is reading the room and planning silence like a trap. Drake's silence? That's not fear. It's a loaded gun waiting to fire. While the world waits for his clapback, Drake is curating every word like it's his last verse. He's seen empires fall from reacting too fast, so he watches every tweet, every bar, every podcast opinion. Because when he speaks, it won't just be rap, it'll be legacy. And if Kendrick's the fire, Drake's about to be the flood. 50's not just backing Drake, he's stirring the pot, grinning the whole time. 50 lives to watch the rap world burn, especially when he's holding the matches. He's not tweeting support, he's triggering responses. Because 50 understands something most don't. Chaos creates opportunity. Every post, every comment, it's not random. It's strategy disguised as trolling. He's not in this for Drake. He's in it for the thrill. And maybe, just maybe, to remind the world who invented pressure. The more Kendrick throws, the calmer Drake looks, and that's exactly what's scary. The world wants him rattled. Headlines scream, timelines mock, but Drake, still standing. And every day he stays quiet. Tension rises. He knows what they want, a misstep. But Drake's not panicking. He's loading history into a single response. Because when the king's throne is threatened, he doesn't yell, he executes. This ain't new for 50. This is nostalgia. Blood in the water, bar for bar. Watching this beef unfold, 50 sees echoes of himself. The drama, the suspense, the world watching. He remembers when his lyrics didn't just hurt feelings, they ended careers. So he leans in, posts cryptic messages, smiles in interviews. Because while the new school plays for streams, 50 played for survival. And in his world, beef wasn't sport, it was war. This isn't just about a diss. It's about what goes on the plaque when it's all over. Drake doesn't fear losing a rap battle. He fears losing his story. Every artist has a peak, and every peak invites challengers. But this is the moment that decides if Drake's dominance was skill or comfort. He's been called soft, pop, industry planted. Now he's called to prove it was always deeper. This response won't be for Kendrick, it'll be for history. While they trade verses, 50 watches and profits. Drama is his currency. Don't get it twisted. 50 doesn't care who wins. He wins regardless. Every headline with his name, every comment he stirs, adds fuel to his brand. He doesn't rap much anymore. He doesn't have to. He built a blueprint so deadly he just has to insert himself. Suddenly it's trending, because beef isn't just bars, it's marketing. And 50, he's the genius behind the curtain. Drake ain't running, he's building something bigger than a diss. He's crafting a storm. When Drake drops, it's not gonna be a 3-minute reply, it's gonna be an event. That's how he works. Surprise drops, culture moments, and the silence, it's just the calm. He knows fans are restless, haters are loud, but Drake doesn't fire first, he fires last. And when it comes, it won't just clap back, it'll shake the algorithm. 50 doesn't just see a beef, he sees a rerun of the show he once starred in. It's like deja vu for 50. Kendrick's hunger reminds him of a younger version of himself, out for blood, aiming for kings. He respects it, but also knows how this ends. He's lived this war, watched giants fall, made legends disappear. And while everyone's focused on bars, 50's watching moves. Because when you've survived every shot thrown your way, you stop fearing beef. and starts studying it. Drake's not scared of losing. He's scared of letting down the people who believed he never would. It's lonely at the top. He hears the whispers. He's done. He can't respond, but he's been here before. The doubters, the haters, the pressure, it always shows up louder than the applause. Drake's silence isn't weakness, it's calculation. Because when you've built an empire off consistency, one misstep isn't just a loss, it's betrayal. He's not just fighting Kendrick, he's fighting every narrative ever written about him. He posts once, and the timeline goes nuclear. 50's trolling is now gospel. He doesn't even have to say names, a single photo, a smirk, a meme. That's all it takes, because when 50 posts, the blogs start writing, the fans start debating, and the rap world gets a fresh shot of adrenaline. He's not dropping bars, but he's dictating the tempo. It's chess, not checkers, and 50 knows how to control the board without moving a single piece. He looks in the mirror and knows, this one can define everything. This isn't Meek. This isn't Pusha. This is legacy on the line. Kendrick is coming for the throne, and Drake knows it. He stares at himself. Not the artist, but the man behind the fame. Is he still that hungry? Still that sharp? Because when this chapter is written, it won't just say who won, it'll say who mattered. And Drake refuses to be the one forgotten. 50 doesn't fight in the ring. He starts fires outside it. He's not writing diss tracks. He's lighting fuses. He'll bring up Kendrick's past. He'll hint at industry secrets. Then he'll vanish, smiling while others scramble. He's not trying to win the beef. He's trying to own the narrative. Because chaos is profitable. And while everyone fights for lyrical dominance, 50 sits back and counts the attention. This is his genius. Not being in the war, but making sure it never ends. Phones off, curtains closed, studio locked. Drake's gone ghost for a reason. The silence is no accident. No parties, no posts, no leaks. Just studio air and beats echoing through the room. He's building something. Every word is a scalpel. Every sound, a trap. Because Drake doesn't release until it's perfect. And when he finally opens the vault, it won't be to make noise. It'll be to make history. He's not avoiding the war. He's preparing to win it. 50 was raised in battle. His heart doesn't race when war drums hit. While others panic, 50 smiles. He's never been afraid of smoke. He grew up in it. This drama, it's fuel. And he's watching like a gladiator reliving the arena. Kendrick versus Drake may be the main event, but 50's the vendor selling tickets outside, making bank either way. Because cold blood doesn't just survive the beef, it thrives in it. The response is done, and Drake, he's calm, too calm. You don't look this peaceful unless you've already made the decision. Drake's pen has finished its run. Now he's just waiting. Timing is everything. One wrong drop and it fades. The right moment, it goes nuclear. He's not nervous, he's focused. And when he drops, it won't be just for Kendrick. It'll be for every critic who ever doubted him. He knows how to make enemies dance, and fans cheer while they do it. 50's words don't just sting, they echo. Every jab is designed for reaction. He's not throwing random shade, he's picking nerves. And while they scramble for damage control, 50's already moved on to the next shot. That's what separates trolls from tacticians. And 50, he's the latter. Provoking ain't petty when it rewrites the headlines. No tweets, no posts, just silence. And silence this loud always means one thing: impact inbound. You can feel it, the anticipation, the tension. The world's leaning in, waiting for a sound. And Drake, he's quiet, but everything around him is moving. Engineers on standby, mixers locked in, cameras charged. Because when it lands, it won't come with a warning, it'll come with a wave. This isn't just a diss, it's a declaration. When Drake drops, the world doesn't just listen, they hold their breath. It's 9:01 p.m. A link appears, one cover, no caption, no warning. The beat hits like thunder. His voice, calm, controlled. But the words razor sharp. Drake isn't just rapping, he's dissecting. Bar by bar, name by name, fact by fact. No subliminals, no dodging, just precision. He's not shouting, he's documenting. The world doesn't hear a diss, they hear a verdict. And when it ends, there's only one question. Did he just end the conversation or start a new one? 50 hears the track, doesn't flinch. He's heard better, he's heard worse, but he listens, twice. He rewinds certain lines, smirks. Drake went hard, sure, but 50 knows the game. Hype moves fast. Truth moves smarter. He starts digging. Who really wrote what? Who's behind that beat? What didn't Drake say? Because while the world reacts emotionally, 50 plays methodically. He's not tweeting. He's not posting. He's loading ammo. Sometimes the best move isn't a reply. It's silence that echoes louder than noise. He's waiting for the second shot, not the first. Spotify crashes. Twitter's in meltdown. Drake's track isn't just trending, it's dominating. Within minutes, it's the only thing anyone's talking about. Blogs switch gears. YouTubers rush breakdowns. Fans pick apart lines like detectives. And Drake, he's gone again. No reaction, no acknowledgement, just disappearance. He's mastered the storm. Drop, vanish, repeat. And while everyone argues over meaning and metaphors, he's already 10 steps ahead. This isn't about winning a battle. This is about owning the entire moment. Silence is now a flex. 50 Cent doesn't just see the moment, he sees the blueprint behind it. He's been here before. Nas versus Jay, Game versus G-Unit. He knows the script, but what separates rookies from veterans is perspective. While others treat bars like bullets, 50 sees strategy like artillery. He knows what labels are doing, what PR teams are pushing, who benefits most. And now he's thinking, does he enter the ring or keep puppeteering from the shadows? Because playing chess with kings is easy when you already taught them the game. This wasn't just war. It was poetry dipped in venom, and fans heard something familiar. Some bars, they hurt, but others, they haunt. Drake's cadence on this track hit different. Vintage flows, surgical rhythm. Fans say it's the take care Drake, the one who told stories in pain, who smiled through betrayal, who laughed at loss. And in that return to form, something shifted. This wasn't just an answer to Kendrick. It was a love letter to everyone who thought he'd gotten too soft, too rich, too far from the roots. Drake brought the emotion back, and people felt it. He's not dropping a track, but his voice is everywhere. 50 hits a podcast, drops a one-liner that goes viral, then he hits another. Same tone, new punch. He doesn't rap, but he's louder than anyone dropping songs. It's commentary, it's comedy, but more than that, it's control. He can flip the whole conversation with a smirk. And no matter who's on the mic, the biggest reactions still come from him. That's power. And 50 knows. Sometimes the best diss is making your enemies explain themselves while you sip champagne. He's won, but it doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like survival. The applause is there. The numbers are up. But behind the eyes, Drake looks drained. Because battling Kendrick wasn't just lyrics. It was a test of everything. Identity, loyalty, legacy. And though he landed his punches, he knows what it cost. Energy, peace, maybe even part of his soul. This wasn't just about being right. It was about being remembered. And in that spotlight, even a king can feel exposed. 50 doesn't need to be in the headlines because he is the headline. The dust settles. Everyone's ranking diss tracks, comparing verses, debating bars. But one name keeps popping up, 50 Cent. Not because he dropped a track, but because he didn't have to. His influence, imprinted. His moves, imitated. And now the rap world realizes he's not part of the drama. He's the architect behind it. Legacy isn't built in the moment. It's built in how you control the moment without lifting a finger. He's quiet again, but this time the silence isn't strategy, it's reflection. He's thinking, rewatching the fallout. Fans, friends, former allies. He knows who called, who didn't, who posted, who stayed silent. And it hurts, because rap battles come and go, but relationships, they're harder to heal. Drake's not looking at charts anymore. He's looking at people, wondering what loyalty really looks like, what legacy actually means. The war is over, but the ripples haven't stopped. Years from now, when they tell this story, they'll say 50 saw it coming. He sits down for an interview, grins. They ask about Drake versus Kendrick. He pauses, sips, then drops one sentence that cracks the internet. Not shade, not hype, just truth. Because while others battled, 50 watched the game change. Again, he didn't have to rap. He didn't have to fight. He just had to speak. And when the story's over, the one who didn't rap a word might be the one who said the most.